You ever tag somebody that came in one day, just on one, just faded, and like, this is what I want.
Like off of weed or on some other shit?
Some other shit. So the whole shit biggity bang bang, and they come through like the next day or so, like, hey man, I didn't want this.
Everything that we do is hella fly. Yeah, we stepping out in the sun all the time. Take a flight, see the Hollywood sign. Palm trees, what we see all the time. Palm trees mixed with a nice breeze. Sunshine, baby, melt ice cream. Palm trees mixed with a nice breeze. Sunshine, baby, melt ice cream.
So yeah, man, we back with another one. You know what I'm saying? We here in the studio, beneath the palms. You know what I mean? Putting in some work, you know what I'm saying? Let me introduce you to my boy, man, you know what I'm saying? Long time partner, you know what I mean? Street legend, artist, you know what I'm saying? / tattoo artist.
Yeah.
Just to do a little bit of this, little bit of that. You know what I'm saying? It's Josh Leon, AKA Twisted.
That's right.
Yeah, man.
So y'all,
What we doing, man? What we doing?
getting down with the pineapple.
Okay.
Swagged out pineapple and shit. It's I don't know if y'all can really see, but it's a little sketch I had done from my my homie here. Show him what we doing.
You know what I mean? That's Boulay. You know what I'm saying? That's his name, Boulay. I'm gonna give him the name Boulay, a pineapple Boulay.
Yeah. Hell yeah, you gotta have a fucking name. That's Mando.
Jordan 1s, you know what I mean?
Fresh. But yeah, we rocking this right here. So the plan is line it up right now, and then we're gonna shade it. You know, so stay tuned, see what the final result is. We'll have that in a bit.
Hey, you know what's crazy? Some people they prefer shading over line.
Oh, you talking about like the paint and
Yeah,
shit? Yeah.
I mean, it's the opposite.
What do you like?
I'm cool with the line because the line is like boom, you keep going. But once the line is done, that shit gets swollen. And
Yeah.
you gotta come with the shading on top of that.
Yeah, well, yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Some people, they feel like they shit numb already. Like, nah, not my shit. My shit fire.
Yeah, but there's a lot of factors to it too, you know. It depends what you're doing, what part of the body tattooing, you know, the style. It's just like that shit could just keep on going. But like for me, yeah, personally for me, I think lining is a little better for me just because it's like you're fresh, you're packed with energy, fuel tank's full, you're feeling good. You know, that excitement got you know, that adrenaline kind of helps numb the pain a bit, but you know, after a few hours that just starts wearing off, so reality comes and smacks you real hard in the fucking face.
After a while, I'll be like, damn, why am I doing this? But I can hang with this because this is more line work.
Yeah.
When it comes to the shading, the exclusive, and
Well, that's where the magic's at, you know. That's the part I can't wait to see what this is gonna kind of turn out to look like. Because in a way, we are kind of improvising here a bit. You know, all I was really able to do was the line work for this. You know, so once I start doing the shading, that's just gonna fucking roll off the dome. You know, we're just gonna freestyle it.
You know, and you're gonna freestyle it, and then you're gonna be like, oh, it ain't done.
Nah, it's gonna be done. Not today. Today it'll be done. This one.
You're gonna be like, man, you're gonna add some shit and be like, oh, it ain't done, bro, done.
Well, that's the thing about us being artists, you know. We're just
never done.
Yeah, and it's real hard to say that something is officially finished just because you always see something that you could, you know, improve on or just be able to just do a lot better. Honestly, me personally, every time I do a painting, not on my tattoos, but with my own artwork, I usually say it's never really done. It's just when it reaches that point that I'm just like, that's it, you know, it's the end of the line.
It's more of a filler, man.
Yeah. To that feeling pops up, then that's usually when I know. Now, clients don't like hearing that shit, you know. Yeah. You're tattooing that it ain't done, so that means more money and more pain.
For sure. For me, it ain't. It's not done. You know what I mean? Because I'm an artist. I want my work. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So you had to choose what makes you what What's more fun, tattooing or doing like canvas work, or paint?
It's hard to say that which one is more fun, just because I enjoy them both pretty well. They're very different from each other, and I think that's what I really like about it. So like tattooing. Honestly, what I've always loved and captivated me since day one has always been, how difficult this is. This ain't easy to put ink on skin, and it's just more than just what, the whole like technical side of it, like techniques and shit like that. It's a lot to it. Tattooing really requires having a really good mental state. How to be able to manage stress levels, and not crack. Because you can have a fucking shitty day, and you can have personal shit happening in your life, but if you have to tattoo, you have to put on that fucking show. The show must go on.
Right.
There ain't no other way to go about it, Now, when you paint or you're drawing, that's not really in the equation, If you're not feeling it, then you just won't go in and work on that, whatever it is that you're working on that day, till you feel inspired. You don't really get that with tattooing, It's like you have to just deliver,
Right. And else to it, huh?
And the shit ain't easy, Like the skin's getting angry, it's getting irritated, it swells up, blood comes out, so it's like spitting back at you, So I really do enjoy that part of it, the whole difficult intensity of it. Now painting is a little more like personal, or if I'm drawing and shit, just because it's usually what I want to do. With tattooing, it's like a 50-50 deal. It's like you're doing what you want to do also, but you're bringing someone else's idea to life.
Right.
One of my favorite things is just seeing the smile on the client once I'm done. Once they go look in the mirror and they're like, "Fuck yeah, I did it," and it came out better than I wanted to.
You surpassed that expectation.
That's when I'm like, "Fuck yeah," mission accomplished. I did my shit. I mean, and above all, it's like it's permanent. That shit'll bring up a lot of stress. Like. One little slip, one little fuck up, you get a crooked line in there, this
Been there.
It's there,
Yeah.
But one of the things I really love about tattooing always has just been like the whole the history of it, Tattooing's got a very dark history and it's got a very good history, from like tribes that were passing on like, tattoos and, where a boy becomes a man, like a ritual passage. Yeah. You have that part of
it. You had to go through something to get a tattoo. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. So like warriors would get tattoos, so you have that part of the history, and then you have the dark part of the history, prisoners and like, slaves are getting tattoos. So it's both sides of the spectrums. There's so much history to this. Something about that, like humans were always like tampering with marking the body. Sometimes I wonder, like, what was the first tattoo? Who did the first tattoo?
Yeah.
What was it and for what reasons?
Shit. How long you been tattooing now?
I'm going on to 17 years now.
Yeah. Almost two
decades, yeah.
17 calendars.
Yeah, well, when I met you, that was, the boy was at a freshman year.
Damn.
Practically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He was like the youngest in the shop, huh?
Wow. Oh, yeah. That shit was funny, dog. I remember fucking, so back then, I didn't really have that many tattoos. And for somebody who's been tattooing as long as I have, most tattoo artists would say that I don't have that many tattoos, They're just not really visible. But back then, I didn't really have shit, bro. And I remember fucking people would walk in the shop, and then they would like trip out. They didn't think I would tattoo. They thought I was like a counter boy or like the helper, you know. So they wouldn't even talk to you, boy.
The man.
Yeah,
I need the best artist here.
that's one of my favorite lines to this day. People walk in and that one never gets old, bro. They'll walk in and they'll say it loud as fuck off the top of their lungs. Yep, I want the best artist in here.
They want the best artist with a low.
With the low.
With a Lilo. When I first went in, I was like, after World and everything in it, tap my neck, bro.
Oh yeah,
That shit, tap my neck.
I mean that was around that era too, right? The Wiz, when that song came on, tap my body, I don't give a fuck.
Ink, ink my whole body.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, I remember that. Tattooing was very different back then. But that's right. You were staying out there, right, in Hollywood during that time.
Yo, Hollywood, right on the. Yep. He's just, as soon as I leave the crib, I just push down the hill, roll down, boom, I'm on the boulevard.
Yo, man, I gotta give a shout out to Hollywood, man. You know, it ain't all glorious all the time out there, but I mean, that's where your boy got his fucking fresh start out there. So that in Venice, always got to give a shout out to those.
Yeah, shout out like here too.
To those cities and shit, for real talk. Put your boy on game and shit. Got a lot of good, interesting people out there. Bad and negative, but they all had an
My
impact.
favorite artist though is shit, man. You and my boy Nicholas. Is it Nicholas?
Yeah.
Who did our show there with the thing? Yeah.
Yeah, he was a cool cat. But you're talking about Wreck though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did he end up going to Oceanfront?
Yeah, he did.
What?
Yeah, that's my boy right there. Yeah, Wreck, bro. Yeah, that is one fucking talented individual, man.
He moved up quick. I ain't gonna lie. Dang, that's how you getting down now?
Yeah, nah, he's doing his thing. Yeah, shout out to Wreck too, man. Fucking poor Nick, he ain't fucking around, man. He's one of those. He's definitely one of those artists that I've mentioned in that category. You know, like artists who.
Oh yeah. He's tattoos that do artwork while waiting. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for work. We just be in here.
Yeah, he was just always practicing his craft. You know, he's got a very unique style. You know, he's not out there ripping somebody off. Like he's delivering his own shit. You know, straight from the soul. You know, very few artists that I know that could pull that off at that caliber. And he's just one of those artists that just keeps getting better every year. And that's where it's at, you know? You gotta have that type of ambition. I know there's a lot more to it, but...
How you feel about the reality TV show, like, artists, you know? So it's something Ink Masters and whatever.
Yeah, I've always had like mixed feelings about those shows. You know, I was at the shop the other day and some of the guys had it on. I don't remember exactly which one it was, but it was one of them. You know, and you know, it's like it the way I classify that is more entertainment than a place where you can seek knowledge. You know. It's just really based on one thing and its ratings. So it really dilutes what really happens in real life. So I usually have mixed feelings about that. You know, I've had people ask me in the past, like, oh, how come you don't come out on one of these shows? And I don't know. And I'm not saying all of them are like that, you know. I just feel that the ones I've seen, it's like, what they're showing you on TV, it's not what really goes down in the shop. That's not how we get down, bro. And some of that shit, I'll be like, yeah, they're just
drama and shit.
It's just bullshit, you know. I mean, I guess part of the reasons why I've never really done that either is just because, I mean, just being at the shop, it's like you're ready at a reality show. You know, we got We got characters, yeah, it's live, you know, it's raw, and we always...
And then the people that come in.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. And we already got characters walking in, you know? I'll start doing the second kick now. This one, do a little, yeah. But, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's the latest one out there. I've kind of lost track by now.
I did too. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, you know, when it comes to reality TV shows, I mean, I just lost interest in it over time.
Yeah, I mean, you know, if you're out doing things, you know, you don't really have much time for that, you know. That's kind of where I've been at lately, you know, just running around doing a lot of things, staying busy. Staying busy is good, you know. So,
what differentiates you from other artists, like, you know, a tattooer, tattoo artist? You know, what separates you? What makes you feel like, oh, I'm on, you know, I'm on this side of it?
I don't know. I've always, you know, interesting enough in the tattoo industry. Like I said, I've been in it for 17 years now. Since day one, I always felt a little more like outcasted, you know. And at first, it was like weird. It was like, you know, you feel a little like secluded, and you know, keep the fist. It bothered me a bit, you know, to a certain degree. But as I grew older, you know, I started realizing why, and as time went on, you know, like I always knew that I was, especially when I started tattooing. I started tattooing in 2009. During that era, you didn't really have that many like artists who had an art background, like an actual academic art background, you know. The industry was pretty much relaxed. It was ran by you know, just artists who have either, you know, done time in the joint or just, you know, worked in tattoo shops most of their life. Very few actually went to art school. And there's some misconception out there that like I went to you know, that I have an art degree or whatnot, but that's not the case. You know, I'm actually a dropout, but I do have some sort of art background, you know. And I remember going into the industry at the age of 19. You know, I just felt outcasted. You know, like I wasn't part of the industry. You know, during that time there weren't that many like tattoo artists who were like fully drawing things from scratch. You know, I came across it, but it was very rarely. Most of the time, everything was just it was tracing. And I understand it now, you know, because it's like, that's how things were done, you know, back in the days, you know. You didn't have the time to like, back in the days, there weren't that many tattoo artists. So there was a high demand for tattoos, you know. So there were certain tattoo artists where like they had a line of sailors lined up outside the shop waiting to get tattooed. If you're sitting there drawing everything custom, you're losing money, you know? So they had a system like Flash and other ways of composing designs at a very fast rate, you know, to just be able to bang them out as they walk in the door, you know? So a lot of that has gotten passed down through generations, you know? And I'm not knocking it, you know? I'm just saying that when I came in, you know, that wasn't something that I was really like interested in doing. And you know, because of that choice that I made, you know, there were some pros and cons to that decision. You know, it took me longer to learn how to tattoo because I kind of like skipped all the like some of the fundamental steps that you would have to do to learn how to tattoo, you know, like if you took a modern apprenticeship nowadays. But at the same time, it gave birth to my style. of what I do, you know. I've always, to answer the question, I've always wanted to do my own artwork, you know, as opposed to someone else's artwork, you know, put my own spin on it, you know. And I think that's what makes my work very unique. It's like if someone comes and gets a tattoo done by me, you're really getting something that's based on my style. It's my creation. Now, I might be inspired by another artist or a certain style that already exists, but I usually like to put my own spin on it, you know. I'm not really a big fan of like tracing things, you know. I'll trace if the job requires it to do that, but if I'm able to skip that, I'll skip that, you know. If I could just draw on the skin with a marker and just tattoo it, you know, I'm good. But nowadays, a lot of times I'll usually just, you know, put a design together, I'll draw it up, I'll create it, kind of like how we did here. And then I'll slap that bitch on and fucking get it going.
Any artists or celebrities, famous people, somebody with notoriety that the people might be aware of that you tattooed before?
I get that question asked a lot, you know. Me personally, I'm not gonna say like I don't think there's been any like A-list celebrities, you know, that I've tattooed yet. I've definitely tattooed people who, you know, who are very close. They have very close ties to big name celebrities. But I've definitely tattooed people who have, you know, who've come out in big movies, but probably weren't like the main actor.
Got you.
You know.
Yeah.
Now and you know, like I said, most of my career has been in Hollywood, you know, and working out of there, I've had a lot of friends who've actually tattooed some very, very big names, you know, either musicians or actors.
Is there any athletes?
Athletes. Let me see. Off the top of the dome that I could think of right now? No, I can't think of anyone right now.
How many people you think you attack in a year?
Oh, that's hard. That's hard to say.
Like, see, like,
I mean, yeah. Well, that number can really vary. You know, it just really depends on like what shop I'm at, or like just how good business is that year. You know.
Speaking of shop, in your personal experience, would you recommend, let's say, an inspiring artist who want to get in the game? Would you recommend them to start off solo dolo, like independent, or
no,
partner with a shop?
Shop, 100%. Okay. So this is what I have to say, you know, to anybody out there who wants to actually like, who's thinking about getting into tattoos. You know, you have two options basically. You might have more, you know, but this is the way I see it. You know, it's either if you're not gonna want to pay, because apprenticeships you usually gotta pay, and people might not know this if they're not familiar with the tattoo industry. Ain't nothing free in this life, you know. You're always gonna pay, whether you're paying with your time or actual currency, but you're gonna pay one way or another. And most tattoo shops require you to, you know, basically do free labor. You know, you're gonna clean the shop, you're gonna, you know, set up for the artist, you're gonna do all the dirty work, you're gonna go get me coffee and shit like that, you know. But in return, you know, you get kicked down knowledge that's taken, you know, that individual years to accumulate, you know.
So you getting game while you're in the shop, though.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
now,
so
in my opinion, that's the best way to go about it, because it's like you're basically having a mentor, you know, guiding you and showing you the ways, you know, like there's something that, for example, like the shop that I work at, you know, we have an apprentice there, you know, and you know, I've already, you know, not just me, the owner too, you know, her mentor, but like we've you know, kicked her down some, you know, some game, and you know, we've like he's taught her things that it has taken him, you know, years to learn, and she learned it within a few minutes or a day or two. You know, and that's knowledge that could have probably taken them like 10, 15 years to figure out. Right. You know,
do it by themselves for sure.
Yeah. Now, there's always going to be that one person that's gonna have, you know, might have pride or just, you know, for whatever reason, might not be able to do an apprenticeship, and they're gonna be like, "Fuck that! I'm just gonna buy a tattoo kit on Amazon and just start." You know, that's kind of how I started, minus the whole Amazon tattoo kit, because back in the days, Amazon didn't even exist. You know, like when I was like tattooing.
Right.
It probably did, but like, you know, I wasn't buying shit off fucking Amazon at that time, so. You know, I started just fucking up people left and right, because that's truly what you're gonna do. You know, I was a pretty good artist. I was drawing like dope ass shit. People liked my shit back then. They would pay me to draw stuff for them, you know.
But like on the skin.
But on the skin, that shit was garbage. You know, straight up. This is exactly what it was, you know. I can't front like that.
Most artists in the beginning, that's what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
Some artists is gonna fuck up in the beginning, and the person getting tattooed is gonna have that fucked up tattoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Exactly, you know. And shout out to all my loyal clients out there that still keep coming back after I fucked them up. Because I wouldn't be here without y'all. If it wasn't, you know.
Practice makes perfect, you know.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, seeking an apprenticeship is definitely the way to go, in my opinion. You know.
You ever task somebody that came in one day just on one, just faded, and like, this is what I want.
Like off of weed or on some other shit?
Some other shit. So the whole shit biggity bang bang, and they come through like the next day or so, like, hey man, I didn't want this.
I mean, maybe not like that, but I'll never forget, you know, I worked at a shop in Venice once. Shout out to my homie Mike from Oceanfront. I was working.
Mike.
Yeah, you know Mike. I was working at the shop, and some guy comes in. He's like, I want to get my wife's name in, I don't know if it was Japanese, if I'm not mistaken. Like kanjis, you know?
Yeah.
And then, you know, I looked at homie and I was like, I don't know, bro. I was like, I don't know how to write her name in Japanese, you know? Yeah. And we actually had Japanese tattooers at that shop, you know, but they weren't there that day. So I remember just looking around and being like, damn, where the fuck?
Mike is really Korean.
He's Korean, yeah. I was looking around like, man, where the fuck are you guys at? When they need you.
Because the dude that was handling remember the big dog? What was his dog name? Hulk or something?
No, that was a Gooch.
Gooch.
Yeah.
The owner of Gooch, he's Japanese?
No, he's Korean.
He's Korean too?
Yeah. But no, triple out on this. So fucking, I'm like, look, bro, best I'm going to be able to do, I told the guy, I was like, it's Google Translate, you know, and whatever fucking comes out, that's what I'm going to tattoo on you. I was like, are you cool with that? Because I was like, I don't know how to fucking write this. I was telling him, you got to go and find a Japanese person, have them write it for you, and then bring that to me, and then I'll be able to tattoo.
Let him confirm it before you get it.
Yeah, but he was like, I ain't got time for that. And I was like,
oh, in there.
Yup. So I was like, whatever, bro. Get on the chair. I sat him, tattooed him. He went out, and then I forgot about it, bro. A few minutes later, his wife came in, hot, pissed.
Like, why'd you do that, Chima?
She's like, where's the guy that did that? It was Japanese, but she said Chinese, like tattooed, you know. Mm-hmm. And I was like, yeah, right here. She's like, it doesn't say my name. I was like, what do you mean? Like, how can you read it? It's good. No, she was like, well, because I went and I asked the Asian lady down the street, and she said, that's not what it says.
What does it say?
I don't know, it said something else. I was like, lady, that ain't my fault, man. You know, that's his fault. I told him, you know, but...
You pressed the line.
Yeah. But you know what? I learned a valuable lesson that day. I was like, if you don't understand the language, probably might want to stay away from that, you know? Mm. So yeah, everybody fucking do your research.
How many more? 29. Man. So yeah, man, you know, we're gonna finish doing this work, man. I'll keep y'all posted on what's really going on with this piece. But again, man, shout out to all the aspiring artists out there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Shout out Oceanfront Tattoo. You know what I mean? Twist leave something with the people, man. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
Pick some game or something. You got this camera right there or right here, man.
Yeah, man, just fucking just want to give a shout out to number one, my family. Well, technically number one, God. Number two, my family, and then three, my loyal clients. You know, and all my friends out there. You know, I appreciate y'all, man. I wouldn't be able to do this if it wasn't for you guys. You know, and also big shout out to all the people who've done me wrong in the past. You know, I've got mad inspiration from those situations. You know, so I wouldn't be here without y'all either. But other than that, you know, just want to send love to everybody, you know, and hopefully this ain't the last time that I'll be here. I'll get to see y'all pretty soon. And yeah, let's just see how this turns out. Looking forward to it.
Let the people know where to find you, man. You know, follow up.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you can check me out at Instagram. My Instagram is Josh Custom Art all together. And pretty soon I'll have a website up. And I got merch coming out too, so stay tuned for that.
Any upcoming events where people can catch you, find you, come get some work done?
I'm gonna be up in Kansas pretty soon, in about a few weeks. Any local events as of now? I don't have anything yet right now lined up for 2026, but 2026 is gonna be a big one for sure. Yeah, we got some stuff that's on the works already. So. Give me a follow. Stay tuned on Instagram. You'll see your boy up there.
Yeah, yay. Back with another one. Like the other one. It's Willie Ad. We out. Yeah.